Hey guys, it's Tanisha from Mommy and Me, back with another video. So today we are going to continue our unboxing of the grade 3 Abeka curriculum. Today in particular, we'll be going over the Language Arts Curriculum Lesson Plan book. This is pretty much the Bible for Language Arts 3. It covers all the material for all the items you see here. So these are the reading books that they'll go through, their writing, spelling and poetry, reading comprehension, and the actual language book. So let's get started. So opening the book, they always start with their philosophy. It is a Christian curriculum, one of the many reasons I love them. Here you have the list of textbooks and materials. So right up here is the one specifically for language arts. Here's a child kit, and then this is the essential parent kit. These are just the rest of the materials for grade 3. And then over here they have like the teaching aids, all these other extra things you can get if you want it. They have the daily suggested schedule, but of course you can pretty much tweak this to fit your lifestyle, whatever works best for you. We normally do not follow the time schedule like this. This year might be different, I don't know, but we'll see. We do follow the test schedule though. That just makes it a little easier because the tests are already scheduled out in the lesson plans. So following their suggested schedule keeps it more balanced, at least for me. So I don't have to like find test days. Here you have the parent overview up here, just giving you some keys to help you have, a better year with your child. And then here you have the subject overview. So it's going through each subject under the language arts curriculum. So your reading, your language, your writing, spelling, poetry, the seat work, and the homework. And here we have some more teaching information. So again, just them giving you kind of that background work of what will be going on throughout the school year. I tend to kind of glance over these just because my daughter really loves reading, so we end up getting more books to kind of correlate with whatever she's learning. So I glance just to see what other things I can add as far as book-wise for her. These are the different literary terms they'll be learning. This talks specifically about the reading comprehension skill sheets, how to assign the homework. And then you have how they evaluate the oral reading, because they will have oral reading weekly. And let's see here, it actually starts in lesson 7. So they're gonna have a grade for oral reading every week. And then this is just some tips for those reluctant learners. All right, and let's see. Oh, a reading contest. So she's actually in a library book club. So I think I might actually mention that to them. That's actually kind of cool, doing a reading contest. But she normally joins the reading contest for the actual library that they have, like for the entire library for the county. So we are doing that again this summer and throughout the year. Whenever one pops up, actually, we do one. Okay, so here specifically is the reading daily plans. So this is specifically for the reading books, and I'll show you all of those in the next video along with all the other material. Here you see this is lessons 1 through 5. This is the weekly overview, and then you have for each specific lesson. So they start off with whatever words you're going to be using. It gives you the little notes of here it's saying see page 16 for the pronunciation key. Here it's literally telling you what to do. Prepare words on board or paper for reading. Giving you all the extra information there. Prepare Venn diagram for enrichment activity. So I tend to look at these type of things prior to the lesson so I can set up my board the night before. And then it shows where to read. Over here I'll tell you like lesson 5, we know we're going to be doing skill sheet 1, so pulling that ahead of time if you want to, things of that nature, the different Bible readings, all of that. So it's very organized, and that's pretty much how the flow of the book goes. This is how the oral reading evaluation looks. So you have the date, the reading grade, and then the areas to work on, and it'll tell you which book which passage they're reading, or what we used to do is I would have one book that she would read from, but I would just have different passages. So I'm gonna see how it is this year. But that's how the reading portion is set up, pretty much. So let's skip along to, all right. So this is the actual language 3. Here you can see the separation. Again, you still have that teaching information specifically for language 3. They will have book reports, so you have that part. Here is just telling you how to administer the quiz and test, how to grade it, so you can keep score. I do report cards for her, like for each quarter, and then an overall report card just so she can see how she's doing. Here you have the supplementary word list, language and writing. So these are just some enrichment ideas. And then here we start. So this is elements of a book, and I believe this is just some extra material as far as if they're reading a book and you want them to fill this out when they get to that particular section. So there's elements of a book, there's a book report. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. Like I said in the last video, guys, this is my first time going through this as well, so we are seeing these things together for the first time. So if you hear me say ooh and ah, that's why. So this would be a language daily plan. Here you have the first lesson here. You see it's saying 30 minutes. Here is how you prepare. It'll tell you what materials they need, any enrichment ideas. And I really love this part because, again, I like to get additional things for her as far as books go to go with the teams and stuff. And I also like decorating. So if the first week we'll be talking about nocturnal creatures, then I will kind of have a team set up in the schoolroom surrounding that, different pictures, posters, have videos set up for her to watch, just to kind of bring it alive. Like, I really love doing things like that. So here you can see that's going to be the team, the nocturnal creatures team. All the information in black is what you will be reading to the student or to your child. And then they're just giving you the instructions here of what you should do. And again, they're very, very specific with that. So this would be a lesson 1. And then we have lesson 2, lesson 3, all of that. The application portion is where they're actually going to go into their language book, and they'll give you all the things that they need to do. The black, again, you'll read this to the child, and it's very specific. Again, child will complete this section independently. As time permits, have him read sentences. Like, you don't have to think with Abeka. They do all the work for you. All you need to know how to do is read. That's it. So that's pretty much how the lessons go as far as language. Sorry, I don't want to make this video super long, guys. So let's move to the next section if I could find it. Okay, so we have writing 3. So this is penmanship, and we are for us, we are doing cursive. So I have her do cursive and script, but we really focus on the cursive just because I know she's gonna pick up script anyways. So here you have evaluating the penmanship. You have the creative writing and the goals they have for the 3rd grade. The writing process here as well. Cursive formation guide. So I normally have this like printed out. I have this printed out and laminated, so she keeps that all year round. Just some writing comments, to keep them, what's the word I'm looking for? Just to kind of keep it positive. So they don't feel like they're just always making mistakes. You still tell them how to improve, but you give them positive comments also. This is how the writing plan looks. So they're suggesting 20 minutes. You have this, you will either draw this on the board or another paper. We use the board, but you're just having them match these. And this is also going to be in their book, and you'll see that in the next video. So here it says, again, you see the instruction portions. The black is what you read to them. And this is pretty much just writing. So we're just gonna go through the line of writing the specific letters. And from letters, they'll go to writing a paragraph and proofreading, research. All those things are gonna happen in writing. All right, and then moving along, we have spelling and poetry. So again, you have some background information. It tells you about the homework, the trial spelling test, tests and procedures, grading procedures. You have all this again. Then you have the poetry, what you do for that. So we have, this is just a list. Okay. So I don't know exactly what this part is for just yet, but I'll do some deep diving and read it when it's time. All right, so for spelling and poetry, you see this should only take 15 minutes. This is the first lesson, so introducing the book, introducing lesson 1, the poetry, which poem you're introducing, discussing the meaning, and that's pretty much how it goes. Normally, spelling tests are on Fridays from what I remember. So here, let's see when they do it. All right, yeah, so we have the trial test option, that's lesson 7, and then the spelling test is lesson 8. Oh, so their spelling has changed this year. Let's see. Sorry guys, I'm here planning while I'm talking to you. Yep, so their spellings are now on Wednesdays. Okay, so last year we did spelling on Fridays. So it seems like this year their spellings will be on Wednesdays, which is fine. We will adjust accordingly. But pretty much that's how it works out. It tells you what the how much the points are for each word, each vocabulary word, each definition. And that's pretty much spelling. Same thing. And that is all. I think that's all. Let's see. Okay. So here, this is the seat work. So this is when they actually sit down, and this may take 15, 20 minutes, maybe 40. It just depends on the schedule in the front, but it'll tell you what they want them to do. And they do this independently at the end. So you have lesson 1, she'll be copying spelling list 1, writing the days of the week, write by 5 to 100, practice 1 row of each with these, and then write about something you enjoyed doing this summer. And they have one of these every single day. Some of the things repeat, or I'm assuming they repeat because last year they did, like here, copy spelling list 19. They have him copy spelling list 19 again. And then over here in this lesson again. And it's just for that repetition. We did start off doing this last year, and I feel like it was very helpful because by the time it was time for the test, she already knew not just how to spell it, but how to write it. Appendix B is just games. So the different games you will see throughout the book, this is just the instructions for it. And then for Appendix C, you have some, oh my goodness, sentence strips. So you have these, and you figure out how exactly you want to use them. But they give you instructions on how as well. And then here, Appendix D, you have the sample penmanship test. So you can kind of use this as a guide and of how you want to grade your child's test, what grade you want to give them. So they give you different examples so you can see what an A, a B, a C is, things like that. Even a D plus, so you know exactly what you're looking for. And then all the way to the back, you do have in Appendix E, you have the spelling. So this is list 1. It shows you what the focus is on, teaching tips, and then sample sentences. So what I did last year for her spelling test, I would go back here and I would use these sentences when I am doing the spelling test. So I would say the word, I would read the sentence, and I would say the word again. Just because there are certain times where they have words, like there and things like that. I can't remember what it's called right now. Synonyms, antonyms, one of the nyms. So yeah, they have words like that sometimes. So using it in a sentence, you know, that helps her to figure out what is what. And then all the way to the end, I know this video is long, I'm sorry guys. This is just your spelling and poetry answer key, like in particular. And that's where you have all the answers for their spelling book. You do have some more things back here. So Appendix F is all planning. So here you have the books that we're gonna be reading through, which lessons they're gonna be. They do give you, this is a scope and sequence. So everything that you need to plan is back here. The writing, the creative writing topics, all of these. And then I love this part because this is where they kind of combine everything across all the subjects. So everything that you're learning, the science, the history, the reading, spelling, everything, it kind of matches up. So they're getting the same thing across the entire 3rd grade. You have your planning calendar and just more teaching things. You have activity time. If you choose to do so, you can add that in. And they show you here the activity time. So you have the spelling bee or story time, classic stories, music theory or art. We're just subbing in with different stuff. So we're gonna do music, but not their music theory. We're gonna do piano, and then we did get the art book. So we are gonna do their art and an additional art person that I found online. And then you have your progress reports. So I do keep track of these at the end, just so it makes it easier when I'm making her report card, when I have all the grades already here. So I can just make an overall report. And I believe that is it, guys. This is a super long video. I'm so sorry, but I really just wanted to give you guys a good full walkthrough. I know for me, when I'm getting curriculum, I like to see detailed stuff before I get it. So I hope this was helpful. In the next video, we are going to be going over the actual material, all of the material here. So just stay tuned for that. All right, guys, see you in the next video.